This video is brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. Check it out. Summer reads so far. I've been doing a lot of reading recently, a lot more than I used to. I haven't read this much for pleasure in so long, and it feels really good. Like, I love reading right now. I've been getting some questions about what books I've been reading, what books I recommend. So we're gonna do a quick little book chat. If you're not interested, skip ahead. I'll have chapters. Currently, I'm rereading The Great Gatsby. It's a classic. I had to read this in high school, and I'm gonna be honest, I read some parts and then most of it was Spark Notes, but I never actually like really sat down, read it, and like consumed the information. I felt like I should actually take the time to read it because it's a pretty short novel, so I figured it'd be an easy read. I've been reading some more like contemporary books lately, so I decided to go back to a classic. I love it so far. I started it like yesterday and I'm halfway through. I've read these 3 books so far this summer. This was the first book I read this summer, Normal People by Sally Rooney. And this, if I didn't read this book first this summer, I don't even think I would have read all these other books, because this made me actually like reading again. And I swear I don't want to hear any normal people slander, because I get personally offended by it because I loved this book so much. I can see why it's maybe not for everyone, because it is not very plot driven. Like, there's no major plot line, but it's a lot about character development. If you don't know, it's about 2 young adults, Connell and Marianne, and it kind of just follows their sort of like complicated relationship throughout the years, and I think it's beautiful. It's about relationships, friendships, social class, love, mental health even. Like, there's so many topics covered by this book, and it's done beautifully. Sally Rooney's writing style is amazing, and I just fell in love with the characters so fast, and I really connected to this book. Still think about this book daily since I read it. 5 out of 5 would recommend to everyone. Next, I read this book. This is The Girls by Emma Cline, and I saw this actually on like a TikTok reading like recommendation thing, like summer reads. And then I started seeing a lot more about this book. Basically, it follows this teenager. She's a very insecure, lonely teenager, and she gets wrapped up with this group. Hippies, you know, counterculture. It's in California. Do you see where I'm going with this? Basically, this book is sort of a reimagined story of the Manson cult. I give it a 3 out of 5 just because it doesn't really have a plot, which is totally fine. Like, Normal People doesn't really have a huge plot either, but it had a lot of character development, and I personally feel like this just didn't. Maybe that's a bad take, but I think maybe it's because I didn't really connect to the main character in the way that the book was obviously trying to make you connect with her. Like, there's a lot of slow parts, but the interesting parts were really good, obviously, and that's what made me keep reading. But it took me forever to get through this book because I would stop reading for like weeks. Overall, it's not a bad book, and I can see why a lot of people would really like this, especially like young girls like me. The teenage young adult female reader I could see would definitely like this. I'd say the summer is like the perfect time to read it because it is about a summer in 1969 where all these events happen and such. So yeah, that's that book. Next, okay, I just finished this book. It is My Year Rest and Relaxation by Otessa Moshfegh, and this book is bizarre. It's dark, it's weird, and it's really funny. I found myself laughing out loud at certain parts of this book. This book is about a pretty young, rich woman that lives on the Upper East Side of Manhattan, and she basically hates her life. She hates her life so much that she wants to sleep for a whole year so that when she wakes up, she will be this renewed, reborn person, and maybe she'll be happy in life. Obviously, this sounds tone deaf. Like, she's literally the most privileged person ever, and she hates her life. Granted, she does have trauma and things happen to her, but that's also kind of the point. This main character is very unlikable, and that's sort of the point. It's like this satire, I guess, but it does also kind of deal with like depressing themes. If you relate to this character, you should actually seek professional help. Like, I'm not joking. I'm joking, but not really. Again, plotline, not much of a plotline, but somehow it was still really interesting to me. I originally rated this a 4 out of 5 because I really liked it, but after some more like reflection on the book after finishing it, I'm gonna bump it up to a 4.5. I wouldn't say like it's completely a 5-star book for me, but I really did enjoy it, and I do recommend it for older audiences.
I thought you were driving.
Good morning. Good morning. We did it! It's very hard for me. That was my first time. I literally couldn't figure out how to fucking put my shoes in or off. Yummy. In the straw. Beach day!
Well, we're going to the beach on the beach day.
I quickly wanted to talk about the sponsor of this video, which is Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business. As a college student, Squarespace is a super helpful tool for me to build my profile for future internships or jobs. I'm currently working on my profile of social media work, which I think would look good as a media and communications major. So I love that you're able to build a profile on Squarespace with so many nice template options. Another thing I really love about Squarespace is their feature to link your social profiles and auto-post content to different platforms, which is great for someone like me who enjoys social media. Their analytics tool is also super helpful and important for so many different reasons, especially if you're someone who is running a business. So if you want to check out Squarespace for yourself, head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, go to squarespace.com/EmmaClaire to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain.